Hello, today we're going to be looking at lesson 15. Specifically, we'll be looking at some multiplication and division of rational numbers, and today has a lot of word problems, so that's going to be good. They start off by asking us to actually write a word problem or create one of our own. So I went ahead and did that ahead of time, and I'll display that. A submarine travels 120 feet underwater each minute. What is the depth after 3 minutes? And then they've also instructed us to write an equation to model the situation. So 120 feet underwater would be negative 120, and then 3 minutes times 3. So negative 360 feet is the depth after 3 minutes. And the depth can be negative 360 because we're thinking of it as the negative indicates below sea level. All right. Now we're going to look at another one. We're supposed to change this word problem by replacing the integer with a rational number, a fraction or decimal. Okay, and I've done that. So a submarine travels 115 4/10 feet underwater each minute. So that's still underwater each minute. So if you wanted to think of it this way, it's going each minute. So there's 3 minutes. Where did we end up? Each minute is going down 115 4/10. So I think I can do this multiplication on the side. And this is what we would expect to see. This is kind of your proof that you've worked it out as opposed to just using a calculator. And it's good to keep these skills fresh, and the way you do that is by using them. So negative times positive is negative 346.2. Now, we want to keep our skills fresh, but we also want to strive for accuracy. So in my opinion, this is a good chance to use a calculator as a tool to check our work. Okay, 115.4 times 3. Oh, love it. So, makes me feel a little better sometimes just to verify my answer. So you may want to do that as well. Notice I still used my skills and practiced a bit. So, in 1 year, Melinda's parents spent $2,640.90 on cable and internet. If they spend the same amount each month, what's the monthly charge? So we have to think about this as how much they spent in a year. 1 year is 12 months. Sorry that I get off screen. I don't have a good setup, I guess. Anyway, so what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to take this amount of money, the 264, and divide it by 12. So I'm not sure if you knew that a fraction is another way to write a division problem, so it is. All right, 12, 26, 40, 90. So I wish I had gotten out a sheet of paper like I showed you the other day, but that's okay. 2 times 12 is 24. Oh, that's going to be nice. 2 times 12 is 24. Okay, we've done a 0, 0 times. We've done a 9, 0 times 0. 12 into 90. I'm thinking 12 times 7 is 84. Bring that down. And that's 5. Okay, so, but that doesn't look very much like money to me. Because money, as we've talked about before, has 2 decimal places. So I think what I should do is just round that, because that's what happens in the real world. Is that going to be 7 cents or 8? It should be 8. And again, when I'm dealing with these rational numbers, especially these larger numbers like this, I just like to verify my answers. I think it's a good practice. You still want to work on this. That didn't take very long. I mean, we're 5 minutes into the video, so that probably took a minute, maybe a minute and a half. And it's really good just to practice those skills. So, moving on to the next page. Just a little background here. So, all throughout your math career from kindergarten to 6th grade, you've been using numbers and doing problems. So in 7th grade, that's part of the expectation, is that you can use different types of numbers. You can use decimals and you can use fractions and you can solve problems using those different things and many steps. So here we go. This is a fundraiser chart. Looks like they're doing a flower fundraiser. We've got the customers, what kind of plants, the number, the price, and whether they paid or not. So, Jeremy's selling plants, school fundraiser. There's our chart, the order form. Use this information to answer questions. Show our work and explain your answer in context of the situation. So, here we go. If Tamara Jones writes a check to pay for the plants, what is the resulting charge in her checking account balance? Okay, so she buys 2 plants and they're $4.25 each. Side work, let's get that up. So it looks like the $8.50 is the cost. So in her checking account, she would be spending $8.50. So remember, change can be positive or negative, and it's that because she's spending $8.50. Next question. Mr. Clark wants to pay for his order with a $20 bill. Jeremy doesn't have change, so Jeremy tells Mr. Clark he wants to give him the change later. How will this affect the total amount of money that Jeremy collects? So let's start there. So Mr. Clark, 5 geraniums, and they're $2.25 each. Oh, I could fill in what I know now. Okay. So 5 225s. 225 times 5. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 2 is 10. Plus 2 is 12. Carry the 1. 5 times 2 is 10. Plus 1 is 11. So we're talking about $11.25. Now, he wants to pay with a $20 bill. So that's kind of a separate issue over here. $20 minus $11.25. Going to make that $19 and put the other dollar over here. 75 cents for change, and $8.75 would be his total change. Now, I'm going to write that in. No. Did that wrong, and that's okay. It's okay to make mistakes. Correcting mistakes is how we learn. I mean, that's what we remember usually, better than just if we did it right. Okay, so his cost was $11.25. This is his change from the $20 bill. And this is his cost. Labels are very important. Moving on. Okay, how will this affect the number of money he collects? Explain. Okay, so Jeremy will have collected $8.75 too much. He will have to return that to Mr. Clark later. And we forgot to put this back in context up here. This is in context. It means just putting it back in terms of the situation. So the resulting change, her checking account has $8.50 less after writing the check. Okay, next question. Jeremy's sister Susie borrowed money from their mom to pay for her order. Mom has agreed to deduct amount of money from equal amount from Susie's allowance each week for the next 5 weeks to repay the loan. So, Susie, $2.50 spread out in equal payments for 5 weeks is going to be 50 cents each week. So the change in her allowance, she will receive 50 cents less each week in her allowance. So that would be negative 50 cents. Okay. And then our final page, we're actually still using the same chart. So the grandparents want to change their order. Okay. Their total right now is $15. They ordered 3 daisies and 1 geranium. Oh, they want to do that instead of 4 daisies. How does this affect the amount of their order? So this is their original, and they want 3 daisies. So let's see, 1 daisy is $3.75. And I got that by looking at the information. So they're going to get 3 of those. Plus, they also want, what do they want? 1 geranium. Kind of curious what these flowers look like. I don't have the cost for 1 geranium, but I can find that. Oh, yeah, I do. Price per plant. Okay. Yeah, price per plant. Geranium is $2.25. Okay. I can't help it. I got sidetracked. Okay, here's daisies. These are geraniums. So to make up for my flower picking time, the 3 daisies came out to $11.25, and then plus the $2.25, $13.50, meaning we have a savings of $1.50 or $1.50 less. So the change was less $1.50. So here for this question, you should have came up with 1440 divided by 3. Let's have some work for that, and $4.80 per person. And here's my work for the last problem. I want to point out that you can tell, because of what I have for my side work, that I didn't use a calculator. You can tell just by looking at this page that I worked it out in this manner. So the $270 divided by 22 people averages out to $12.27 per person. This did repeat. I did find that pattern that this 2 and the 7 were repeating. So since it's money, I needed this to either be $12.27 or $12.28, and based on the 2 that followed the 7, I just left it alone at $12.27. Thank you.